2023 Volvo VNL customer state. My drive axles are out of alignment and my airbags are leaning. Both of them. So one of the things you want to do whenever your drive axles are out of alignment like this, and yes, most torque rods are preset from the factory to have equal amount of space on both sides of the frame. But in this condition, when you see both bags leaning the same direction, you want to go ahead and check your measurement side to side and make sure your axle is centered up on the frame. So if you just take your tape measure and slam it up here, right here, you'll notice that to the edge, the very edge of the tire, right here, we're at 9 1/4. Come over to this other side, slam it up here at the edge of the tire here, and you'll notice that we're at 8 1/2. So that's a 3/4 inch difference. So if you split that in half, that's 3/8. So we need to shift this over that way 3/8 of an inch to be centered up. So what we'll do here is we'll put 3/8 of shims in here, back the truck up, move it forward, and check it again. Now let's check the front axle because it may be off too. We just slam it right there, and we're at 8 1/4 there. At 8 1/4 on the front and 9 1/4 on the back, that's an inch difference from front to back. So that other side is going the opposite direction, 3/8 of an inch, and this side's 9 1/2. Which, looking in the rearview mirror, is going to give the illusion that they're extremely off because technically they're an inch and 1/8 off from each other. And I know I'm gonna get some crap for using these shims, you know, because, well, it's all I got at the moment. So that's what we're gonna go with. All right, so when you let off of it, you go ahead and tighten it down. If you tighten it down, you have to roll the truck forward and roll it back, so that way the axle will realign itself. Then you remeasure. So we're at 8 7/8 and 8 7/8. And our bags moved over as well. Now, this doesn't mean that this is the reason for all bag lean. Of course, you know, I'm sure I'm going to get plenty of people in there that are going to jump in and say, well, that's not the reason why my bags are leaning or whatever. But if you do have leaning bags and they're both leaning in the same direction, take that measurement, check your parts, make sure your torque rods are good and things like that, make sure your bushings and stuff like that are good, and then adjust it. One of the first things I actually do when I do a 3-axle alignment, before I start the rear, I go ahead and measure side to side and make sure that everything, I mean, it's not really gonna affect much on, you know, wear on the tires or something like that, but it could affect bushing wear and things like that. But it just all around looks better too.